At least 6 people are recovering from injuries after a shooting along a busy South Stockton street.
And take a look. Tonight's surveillance camera video is painting a better picture of exactly what happened just hours ago. And tonight, we're now hearing from the owner of the business where the shooting happened, right in front of their shop.
ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has the latest updates from the scene tonight.
Well, there are more than 80 yellow cones scattered across Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard here. 80 yellow cones that mark evidence of the violence that unfolded here in Stockton.
That's 80 rounds that were shot. My God.
People ran for cover in the middle of the afternoon as at least 2 shooters on Friday opened fire.
What goes on in my business has nothing to do with outside of the door.
Bobby Wilkerson's door now shattered by the violence. He says his barbers inside were just trying to cut hair.
One of my barbers was grazed, but thank God he's okay. And I want everybody to know that Frontline is a safe place to be.
But at 2 p.m. Friday, that safety suddenly stopped at the sidewalk.
Officers responded to the 500 block of West ML County report of a shooting. The officers arrived on scene. They learned that 3 male victims had been struck by gunfire and they were getting transported to an area hospital. Officers also learned that 3 more victims arrived at an area hospital, suffered from gunshot wounds. They're all expected to survive.
Police say the victims range in age from 19 to 48 years old. They believe the violence was targeted.
I try my best to help everyone, even the people that's outside the shop that maybe this situation was for, because this was a very, very violent situation.
What started for some as a daylight prayer for protection, now a community's prayer for healing.
I want everyone to pray for the people that's involved, pray for the victims that got shot, and pray for the young people that don't have a way.
And we are hearing from community leaders tonight. The nonprofit Advanced Peace Stockton, which usually works with gang and gun violence in the South Side area, says they do have volunteers on the ground who are trying to mediate any tensions and any possible further eruptions. In Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Steve, are there outstanding?
If you have,
are there still outstanding suspects in that?
Yeah, the suspects are outstanding. Yeah, they need help getting them identified. So if anybody has any information, send us a tip at tips@fugitive.com.
I wanted to ask you guys. I was texting. You remember the owner of the dog that was kicked?
Yeah.
Those girls both pled not guilty, so we're going to try to get them on next week. Hey, I think we should go to that Frontline Barbershop, and we should all get our haircuts there, and we'll do Fugitive Watch from that barbershop. We'll do a live stream right there. Right?
There's no doubt he would welcome us.
I think he would.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because that's his business, and he's like, man, come on, man. I mean, I don't need that kind of negative stuff.
Yeah, I don't. And that was a wild shootout, man. And I like the one guy right behind he's just like, okay, this is serious, but I'm going to stay right here because I'm a little bit protected, but I'm still going to watch, right? Because the shots are going this way, right? And we're going that way. So yeah,
I'm sure business is tough enough as it is for the poor guy, and then they get publicity like this, and then he's going to say, "Well, I want everybody to know that my business is safe." Well, I don't think so.
Yeah,
people just got shot in front of your.
Well,
business.
We're going to go to.
It happened in front of his. He made it clear it happened in front of his business. And they weren't with his patron. The people
Come on, Steve. We're going to go
in there getting their haircut.
Fugitive Watch live from Frontline Barbershop, Stockton.
Yeah. Stockton have their problems. One good thing is that fortunately they got one of our better officers to become their police chief. Stanley McFadden's an awesome guy. I worked with him.
So I know a family once that took their kids out there for a soccer tournament one summer or fall on a weekend. They came out from the peninsula, pretty well off area. And
Pretty park.
So they went out there and they're at that big park for the soccer tournament, and all the kids are there, so you got kids from like the peninsula and stuff and all over the Bay Area. They're not, they grow up in really nice areas, and all of a sudden there's some gang shooting happening in the middle of the games. These 2 guys are chasing one another, just shooting at each other. One guy shooting the other guy. And then all these kids and their parents are all scattering, and they all fled. They all fled the soccer field, the park there, and just left. Everyone just left, right? Because they didn't know what to do, And it's like, can you imagine? It's just that's life in Stockton. And
when I was a little kid, my mom and dad had some friends that lived in Stockton, and we would go visit them on the weekend sometimes. And I remember that Stockton police cars were fire engine red, and it was a big deal. We would look for the police cars because it was the only time we ever saw fire engine red police cars.
right. I'm texting the owner of the dog right now. Just told him that we're at. Okay, so yeah, it's Stockton is a lot going on. I'm out there all the time for stolen vehicle cases. In fact, I got a couple more right now on the classics that I'm working. But